Okay, this next question is the most missed question on test 1. You'll have a question similar to this one, not exactly like it, but similar. Find the limit. Okay? So we can't do direct substitution here because you'd have 0 in the denominator. So instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply by the conjugate. So I'm going to multiply by 1 plus cosine of x all over 1 plus cosine of x. So when I do that, I get the limit. The numerator is going to end up being 1 minus cosine squared x. The denominator is going to be x times 1 plus cosine of x. Again, as x approaches 0. Now, notice that sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x equals 1. That's Pythagorean theorem. I could subtract cosine x from both sides and get sine x squared equals 1 minus cosine squared x. And then I can use substitution here and plug in sine squared x. Okay, the limit of sine squared x all over x times the quantity 1 plus cosine x. Then I can rewrite this way. The limit of sine of x times sine of x all over x times 1 plus cosine x. Again, as x goes to 0. Then you can think of this way. You can take the limit of sine x over x as x goes to 0 times the limit of sine of x all over 1 plus cosine x as x approaches 0. Okay? This should definitely look familiar from the last problem, squeeze theorem. Okay? So we know that that's equal to 1. This, as we evaluate this, the numerator is going to end up being 0. The denominator is going to end up being 1 plus 1, because cosine of 0 is 1, so that's going to be 2. So 1 times 0 divided by 2, that's going to end up being 0. Okay, so it's important, if you want to get full credit on a question like this, all the work has to be correct. You could not, just from the very beginning, just say, oh, this is equal to 0, put that down for an answer and be done. I'll definitely be checking the work. Alright, let's look at part B. Part B, we've got the limit of tangent of x over x as x goes to 0. Again, since we have x in the denominator of x goes to 0, we can't just do direct substitution. I'm going to rewrite this as the limit of sine of x all over cosine of x all over x as x goes to 0. So I'm going to do that first. Then the numerator and the denominator here, I'm going to multiply by cosine of x, and then I would get the limit of sine of x all over x times cosine x as x goes to 0. Then I would think of this as the limit of sine of x over x as x goes to 0, that should look familiar, times the limit of 1 over cosine x as x goes to 0. This guy should look familiar. That's the squeeze theorem. That's going to be equal to 1. And then this limit here, when we evaluate this, we can do direct substitution. We know cosine of 0 is 1, so that would be 1 over 1. So that's going, the answer here would be 1.